What's up, home bartenders? Today we're going to review 5 different bottles of Ardbeg Single Malt Islay Scotch. Let's do it. So Ardbeg is a Scotch distillery in the region of Islay in Scotland, and Islay Scotches are known for their bold flavors, smoky, peaty, briny, just really robust flavor profiles. Definitely not for the novice whiskey drinker. However, it is my personal favorite type of Scotch, so that's why I'm really excited to review these ones here. We've got 5 different bottles from Ardbeg, starting with the 5-year-old Wee Beastie. We have the standard Ardbeg 10. We've got the Ardbeg Corryvrecken, the Ardbeg Uigeadail, and finally the Ardcore. So these two, the Wee Beastie and the 10, these are kind of their standard releases, whereas these are special editions. Ardbeg is actually known for releasing new bottles almost every year. There's a whole lot of different ones, but these are the ones I have, so we're gonna taste, we're gonna review. All right, let's get to it. All right, starting with the 5-year-old Wee Beastie. I mean, right off the nose, smoke. It's Ardbeg, it's Islay. There's iodine, kind of a medicinal taste. Slightly vegetal. Good bite. This one is 47.4%. So a decent bite, but it's not very high proof, but it is still smooth. But the lower aged ones tend to be a little punchier, obviously. Notes of fruit in there, but yeah, mainly brine, salt. We're gonna start the rating. I'm gonna put this one in first place, but we got 4 more to go. Ardbeg 10. I'm getting a lot more citrus on this one. Less smoky up front, but citrus. When I say less smoke, it's relatively speaking, obviously, these are all smoky. It's oily, still got that salt, still got intense smoke, bonfire, typical Islay flavors. A lot smoother. This was 46%. Definitely a lot smoother. I mean, that, you know, additional 10 years of aging definitely rounds out the flavors but smooths it through. Very nice. This one definitely feels more oily, like it's coating my tongue. Very, very nice. People will often say that age statement is kind of indicative of quality, which I suppose it is. However, taste is subjective. So even though this is 10, the Wee Beastie was 5, I'm gonna keep Wee Beastie at the top. We're gonna put the 10 right below. Both great Scotches, but I'm preferring the Wee Beastie. Ardbeg Corryvrecken. Ooh. So on the nose, this one's got that kind of very earthy notes that I've come to know from like pot still whiskeys. Yeah, it's earthy, vegetal. Yeah, very herbal. That's quite different than the first two. There's also almost a buttery quality to it. I didn't mention smoke on the nose because I was really taken away by those earthy tones. But that bonfire smoke is very present on the palate. Oh, I like this one. This one also has a lot more bite. We are jumping ABVs almost 10%. This one sits at 57.1% alcohol. So a lot higher. You do get that tingling, that bite, but you also get a lot more flavor. Very salty still, very briny. But yeah, those herbal, earthy tones, man, that's really taken over here. And then combine that with that bonfire smoke, and this is that's a killer Scotch right there. All right, so this one is just, absolutely packed with flavor. I'm loving those earthy tones, so I'm gonna place this one at the very top above the 5. Ardbeg Uigeadail. So I do get some of those earthy tones similar to the Corryvrecken, which is nice. Smoke is there, salty brininess still. Remember, all of these are coming from the same distillery, so they're all going to be like in the same. It's not like tasting 5 different, completely different whiskeys. These are from the same distillery, so there's gonna be some overlapping. Oh, wow! that was very different on the palate, though. Holy crap! So on the nose, on the palate, I feel like I just had this experience. It was very similar to the Corryvrecken. But then on the palate, it was almost like a coffee note. It's not like there's actual coffee, but yeah, I was not expecting like dark, rich, kind of brown sugar, honey, coffee flavors. It's very interesting. And it doesn't have those kind of herbal notes that I've been picking up in the previous. This one is really rich. Damn, I don't know where to place this one. This one at 54.2. So still high, but a little below the Corryvrecken. Corryvrecken was 57. Oh, now I'm picking up the coffee again on the nose. I guess it's interesting. Your mind gets primed. When you think of something, you're more likely to pick it up. Yeah, like almost like a caramel too. I'm telling you, it's giving me all sorts of coffee house vibes. This one. Ooh, my God, that's good. All right, I'm gonna have to put this one at the top. This one beats the. I may go back and try the 2 back to back afterwards, but for now, this one's going above the Corryvrecken. Ardbeg Ardcore. Okay, so once again, those earthy tones still present. It's funny, they were not there at all in the first 2, and then you get them in the other ones. Vegetal, this one, we're bringing back the vegetal notes, which were present in the 10 and the Corryvrecken, not present in the 5 and the Uigedail. But citrus and herbal, very present. Smoke, but for something Ardcore, I was expecting kind of a hardcore smoke notes, but let's see how it is in the palate. Interesting. It's not as hard. It's not as hardcore as I was expecting. I was expecting punch you in the face smoke, and it's not. It's interesting flavor. I need to kind of wrap my head around it now, but I really was expecting crazy smoke from this one. Yeah, this is the most vegetal of all of them. Very herbal, very vegetal. It's almost, oh yeah, there's like, almost like a licorice anise flavor, which I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, it's not like absinthe, it's not that crazy, but there's a hint of it. And we're still getting the smoke. Briny, salty, it's not as oily as some of them. Where's the ABV on this one? 46, so this one we're back down. Interesting. I feel like for something named Ardcore, they kind of like toned it down quite considerably. It's not what I would have expected. It does give me more bite than the 10 though. Yeah, when you like whiff it by quickly, like that. It looks funny, but when you whiff it by quickly, you really do get those licorice. Those licorice notes are front and center. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of licorice, so it's kind of not doing it for me. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put this one dead last. And right there behind the 10. All right, so we've tasted 5 bottles of Ardbeg. Prior to this recording, I had tried the 5 and the 10. I had not had any of these special releases, but this was really interesting. As I mentioned, these are all Ardbeg, so it's all from the same distillery. So they're gonna be very similar. However, when you really get into it, they are very different. All right, so I'm happy with my note. In first place, we're giving it to the Uigedail. In second place, the Corryvrecken. These two are fantastic. Third place, gonna give it to the wee Beastie, even though it's the itty bitty 5-year-old. However, that is a awesome whiskey, and it's fairly cheap too. And then in fourth place, the 10. This is the Ardbeg Standard. It is a fantastic whiskey. In last place, the Ardcore, which I'm a little disappointed because with a name like Ardcore, you would think they would have given it just the most like hardcore flavors, but compared to these two, it was lacking a little bit. But that's just me. It's still, look, all of these are fantastic whiskeys, fantastic scotches. I recommend each of them. Now, in terms of price points, obviously, I'm in Canada. The price are gonna be, I'm not gonna throw out numbers because depending on where you are, these are all gonna be super different. However, this is definitely, the 5 is definitely the cheapest, followed by the 10, and then these special editions are pretty expensive. If you're gonna get one of these bottles, I recommend one of these. Because these two are cheap enough that they're great as a sipping whiskey, but it's not so expensive that you can still make cocktails with this one. You want to try a whiskey sour, an Islay whiskey sour, amazing. Smoky whiskey sour. Try it with Ardbeg wee Beastie, or Ardbeg 10. Be fantastic. I would not recommend using these for cocktails because they are more expensive. These are sipping whiskeys, so yeah, stick to sipping for these ones. What is your favorite Scotch, favorite whiskey? Put it in the comments below. I want to know. And you know, I've got a whole bunch of Lagavulin. Maybe we do a taste test of all my Lagavulin bottles. So if you like this format of video, let me know and we'll do more of that. All right, we'll see you next time. I need a drink. Cheers. This is the Uigedail, by the way.